Hey everyone, welcome back to your very own English podcast, the English Leap Podcast, helping you learn English and grow with real meaningful conversations. I'm Erin.
And I'm Evan. And today, we're getting into something deep, something that messes with all of us, no matter where we are in life.
Thoughts. That voice in your head that just won't shut up sometimes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that voice that replays every awkward thing you've ever said. Reminds you of every fear, every failure, even when you're just trying to relax.
Right? You're lying in bed, comfortable, calm, and suddenly your mind starts spiraling. One thought turns into 10, then 20, and you're left thinking, why can't I just stop?
That's what we're exploring today. The idea that your thoughts shape your reality. Not your circumstances, not your surroundings, but what your mind does with all of it.
And hey, before we dive deeper, we've got something special for you. We've created a free PDF guide for this episode with key vocabulary, grammar tips, reflection questions, and shadowing practice. It's perfect if you want to review and improve after listening.
You can grab it right now. Just check the link in the description. It's completely free, and it's there to help you make the most of every episode.
And of course, stay with us till the end, because Crystal will be joining you for her gentle vocabulary breakdown. She'll explain some of the most powerful words and phrases we use in today's conversation with easy examples just for you.
And honestly, you'll want to stick around for that. She always finds a way to make tough words sound simple.
Yeah, she really does. All right then,
Let's do it.
let's start with our topic for today. Your thoughts shape your reality.
Yeah. Just saying that makes me think about how many times I've let my thoughts ruin a perfectly normal moment.
Right? Like, everything's fine around you, the room's quiet, your life isn't falling apart, but your brain? It's got like 5 tabs open.
Haha, or 15.
Exactly. One tab's reminding you about that message you forgot to reply to. Another one's replaying something embarrassing from last week. And then there's always that one tab yelling, "Are you even doing enough with your life?"
Ugh, that one's always open. And the worst part? You're not even solving anything. You're just sitting there, heart racing, energy draining, stuck in this weird cloud of mental noise.
Yes. And that's why this idea, that your thoughts shape your reality, matters so much. Because if you let every thought define how you feel, then your life starts to look like whatever tab is loudest that day.
And most of the time, it's the one full of fear or self-doubt. Not truth. Just noise.
Which brings me to something I've been thinking about a lot lately. A quote that honestly changed how I see my own mind.
I know where this is going.
Hey, you know me so well. Bruce Lee once said, "Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water."
That one gives me goosebumps. Because it sounds poetic. But it's real. Because water doesn't fight. It flows. It adapts.
Yeah, pour it into a cup. It becomes the cup. Pour it into a bottle. It becomes the bottle. Water is powerful because it's flexible.
And here's the crazy part. It's not just a nice metaphor. Biologically, our brains are made up of around 70% water. So being unstable, being fluid, that's not a flaw. That's our brain's nature.
Whoa. Yeah. We keep blaming ourselves for overthinking or being inconsistent. But maybe that's just the mind doing what it's wired to do.
Exactly. Your brain wants to move. It wants to shift, explore, bounce from one thing to another. That's why controlling your thoughts feels so impossible. Because you're trying to freeze water.
But you can shape it. You can guide it. And that's where real change starts. Not by forcing your mind to be still, but by gently showing it which direction to go.
It's not about stopping the thoughts. It's about setting up the right flow. So your thoughts carry you toward your goals instead of pulling you away from them.
Yeah. And I actually noticed this in the most ordinary moment. I was sitting at my desk, you know, trying to write something important, and I just kept staring at the screen. My brain was foggy, my body felt heavy, and everything felt hard.
Been there. You're like, I have the time. I know what I need to do. So why can't I just start?
Exactly. But then, I walked into a coffee shop later that afternoon, just for a change of space, and suddenly, I was typing like my fingers were on fire. Same task, same brain, completely different energy.
That's it. The only thing that changed was the environment.
And it made me think, maybe I'm not lazy. Maybe my thoughts just needed a different container.
Right. Like, when we say shape your thoughts, we don't mean force yourself to think differently. We mean shape the conditions around your thoughts. Because your mind responds to rhythm, to cues, to energy, not just willpower.
And once you understand that, you stop blaming yourself for every unproductive moment. You start asking better questions. Not, what's wrong with me? But, what kind of space does my mind need right now to move forward?
And that question, that's how real growth starts. Because now you're designing your mental flow instead of drowning in it.
Exactly. And when you start designing that flow, even in small ways, you begin to feel it. Your thoughts don't feel like a storm anymore. They feel like momentum, like movement.
And honestly, that's the difference between staying stuck and actually becoming the version of yourself you imagine.
You know what it reminds me of? People think success comes from motivation or talent. But half the time, it's just someone learning how to shape their mental environment and stick with it.
Yes, like the ones who wake up early to work on something quietly every day. It's not that they always feel like it. It's that they've built a flow that supports them even when they don't.
That's how discipline is born. Not from pressure, but from alignment. When your thoughts are lined up with your actions, suddenly everything feels smoother, even the hard stuff.
Yeah, it's still work. But now, it feels worth it. It feels like you're in motion, not constantly starting over.
And I think that's where confidence comes from too. Not from being perfect, but from knowing you've shaped your mind in a way that supports you instead of sabotaging you.
Whew, that part. Because when your own thoughts start cheering you on, even just a little, that's when everything changes.
You know, when you really think about it, it's all connected. Consistency, discipline, confidence, even success. It all comes down to how you handle your thoughts.
Yeah, like we treat them like separate things. I need more discipline, or I wish I was more confident. But at the core, it's your mind. It always starts there.
Totally. Because if your thoughts are chaotic, everything else feels shaky too. But the moment your thoughts start flowing in the right direction, just a little, everything else starts to stabilize.
That's the real power. It's not about being stronger or smarter than anyone. It's about having that quiet control where you can pause, observe your thoughts, and gently shift them.
And when you do that over time, even when it's messy, that's when discipline builds. That's when you show up consistently. That's when confidence starts to grow, not from success, but from alignment.
And suddenly, life doesn't feel like a fight anymore. It feels like flow, like you're finally moving with your mind instead of being dragged around by it.
So if you're listening right now and thinking, I've been all over the place lately, you're not broken. You're just human, with a mind that moves like water.
Yeah. And maybe, instead of trying to control every thought, you just need to create a space, a rhythm, where your thoughts can flow in the right direction.
One gentle shift at a time. That's all it takes. And over time, you'll start to see it. The way you think shapes the way you feel. The way you feel shapes the way you act. And the way you act, that's what builds your life.
So don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect mindset. Just start shaping the flow, one moment at a time.
And remember, even the most successful people in the world, they don't have perfect thoughts. They've just learned how to guide them. And if they can do it, you can too.
All right, deep breath out. Let that settle. And now it's time to hand things over to our favorite guide, Crystal.
She's here with her gentle vocabulary breakdown, helping you understand and remember the key words and phrases from today's episode.
All right, Crystal, take it away.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Evan. And hello again, lovely listeners. Let's take a soft pause together. You've just listened to a thoughtful conversation, one that reminds us how powerful our mind can be. Now, let's slow things down and explore a few words that help us better understand that inner world, the one we're all learning to navigate. We'll go gently, one word at a time. Let's begin with the word that describes the situations life puts us in. Circumstance. A circumstance is simply the situation or condition you're in at any moment. Example: despite her difficult circumstances, she stayed hopeful. Let's say it softly together. Despite her difficult circumstances, she stayed hopeful. Sometimes we can't control our circumstances, but we can shape how we respond. Now, here's a word we've all felt before, especially when something small becomes bigger than it should. Ruin. To ruin something means to damage it or destroy it completely. Example: the unexpected rain ruined our picnic plans. Say it gently with me. The unexpected rain ruined our picnic plans. It happens. But not everything that gets ruined stays broken. Next, let's talk about a feeling we all know too well. Embarrass. To embarrass someone means to make them feel uncomfortable, shy, or awkward, especially in front of others. Example: he was embarrassed when he forgot the lyrics during his performance. Let's repeat that. He was embarrassed when he forgot the lyrics during his performance. It's a human moment, and it passes. And sometimes that voice inside us gets louder than we want it to. Yell. To yell means to shout, often in anger or frustration or urgency. Example: she had to yell over the music to be heard. Let's say it together. She had to yell over the music to be heard. Even your thoughts can yell, but you don't always have to listen. Now let's look at a word that describes things that just don't feel quite right. Weird. When something is weird, it feels strange or different from what you expected. Not necessarily bad, just unusual. Example: he acted a little weird after the meeting, like something was bothering him. Yes, weird doesn't always mean bad. Sometimes it just means different. Let's say it gently. He acted a little weird after the meeting, like something was bothering him. Now, here's a word that brings hope, and it's my favorite. Adapt. To adapt means to adjust or change to fit new conditions. Example: when she moved to a new country, she had to adapt to the culture. Let's try it together. When she moved to a new country, she had to adapt to the culture. Adaptation is strength in motion. And speaking of strength, let's talk about something that sounds like a weakness, but really isn't. Flaw. A flaw is an imperfection, a small weakness or mistake. Example: the vase had a small crack, but that flaw made it unique. Let's say it softly. The vase had a small crack, but that flaw made it unique. Flaws are part of what make us real. Sometimes what we struggle with is not being steady. Inconsistent. To be inconsistent means not doing something in the same way each time. Example: his attendance at the gym was inconsistent, so he didn't see results. Let's say that together. His attendance at the gym was inconsistent, so he didn't see results. Inconsistency doesn't mean failure. It means you're still figuring it out. Let's look at a quiet word that holds so much meaning. Cue. A cue is a signal, something that tells you it's time to begin, shift, or act. Example: the dimming lights were a cue that the movie was about to start. Let's try that. The dimming lights were a cue that the movie was about to start. Your environment gives cues. Your body does too. It's all about listening. Now let's talk about a heavier word, one we often feel when life overwhelms us. Drown. To drown means to be overwhelmed, like being pulled underwater. Example: she felt like she was drowning in responsibilities. Let's say that gently. She felt like she was drowning in responsibilities. If you feel that way, pause, breathe. You don't have to do it all at once. Here's another one, a word that describes when we get in our own way. Sabotage. To sabotage something means to damage it, sometimes without meaning to. Example: he sabotaged his own progress by giving up too early. Let's say it together. He sabotaged his own progress by giving up too early. We've all done this. What matters is noticing it and trying again. And finally, let's end with a word that many of us feel, but don't always name. Chaotic. Something chaotic feels messy, disorganized, or out of control. Example: her schedule became chaotic after the new project started. Let's say it softly. Her schedule became chaotic after the new project started. It's okay if your thoughts feel chaotic sometimes. That's why we practice gentleness. These words don't just help you learn English. They help you name your experience and understand yourself a little better. So say them, practice them, carry them gently. And when life feels loud, or weird, or chaotic, come back here. You're never alone in this journey. Until next time, I'm Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal. And thank you to everyone listening today.
We hope this episode gave you something to hold on to and something to grow with.
Take care of your thoughts, and they'll take care of you.
We'll see you in the next one.
Until then, take care and goodbye.